one of the craziest trades in sports history. Over the weekend, Shaz broke the internet with a report of perhaps the most unexpected NBA trade in a very, very, very long time. A 3-team deal between the Lakers, Mavs, and Jazz. The biggest transaction sent Luka Doncic to Los Angeles for Anthony Davis. Everybody from LeBron James to Jason Kidd to Luka and AD themselves were in shock. Fellas, there's so much we got to talk about with this trade, man, but let's start with everyone's initial reactions. I know I thought Shams was hacked. I thought it was AI. I thought it was fake news. I thought it was... I had to ask 3 or 4 or 5 people to double verify before we really knew what happened. So we got to start with you, Champ. Melo, you've been in the middle of some blockbuster trades before. Is this the biggest one you've ever seen?
This is spicy. This is a spicy trade right here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, you can't say it's business, but it is business, right, at the end of the day. I think the way that it transpired was super dope. In context.
Okay.
Of the secrecy, the nobody knew, keeping this between mano y mano. If this gets out, it's over with. Like, that had to be, like, that's real trust that you had to have. But people don't know.
Straight up.
That they have history. They are friends. They close. They families.
They got that swoosh connection from before. Rob Pelinka, Nico. Yeah.
Cole. That's the universe. So it was only right that two friends can actually sit down and do a deal like that. From that standpoint, so I just want to give it context. On the other side of it, it's interesting.
No, it's crazy because it's like, yo, I understand when trades like this happen, everyone's going to say it's a business. But when a guy who's a first-team All-NBA player, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the first time in NBA history 2 first-team All-NBA guys get traded for each other mid-season, ever. You know what I mean? God just took y'all to the finals. And for them to not just trade him, but trade him to LA, don't let nobody else know, don't put him on the market, don't say, hey, we're looking to trade Luka Doncic, let's see if we can get the best return for. That is what made it so interesting to me, because it was like, yo,
it's chess.
Yeah. What chess. Really went down?
It's chess. It's these are chess moves that it come to a point where you actually have to make a real decision on your next move, and you have to be looking moves down the line, right? So that move right there, that was just a play of, listen, we have to do this right now. If we don't do this within this window, it ain't gonna happen. Right, so the trust that they had to have between each other, meaning Nico and Rob Pelinka, to even have this level of conversation where nobody knew. On both sides, nobody knew. People that's close to them didn't even know. Agents didn't know. Representation didn't even know. There was no inkling of that.
This don't seem like something that just happened. Like, obviously, Kobe's still making deals, even now he's gone. Rest in peace. Still making deals. But that connection they have, this couldn't have been like, I'm gonna offer him up, and then what I'm saying, this is a trade right here. It had to be. Even heard some chatter about them saying like, yo, Rob didn't think he was being serious when he offered it.
Who would take that seriously?
But I mean, it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, we like to say it's a business, and it is, but it had to be a little bit more to that than had to be.
I mean, we see the reports that are coming out now. You know what I mean?
But everything, like, people, that's the thing. Stuff happens in the league, and then we say
all
that's
the dirty laundry comes out.
Then we say that's the business.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? But is it really the business? Is what you make it?
Yeah, we made it the business.
Yeah,
like our crew. That I don't want to
class of 03, 04.
Yeah,
I'll give the flowers.
Because I don't really want to separate generations and all that. But
I'll call y'all the player empowerment generation.
There's a period of time where we really had to fight in these meetings for these type of moments, right? For that player empowerment. The guys that was, before us had to fight and fight and fight 3 and 4 collective bargaining agreements. Like, this is what's been going on. So to get to a point where it's player empowerment and player movement, that's part of the game now because it's so much money that's being out there that's being made.
I'm glad you said so much money.
And so much money that's being made and invested into the sport. So yeah, it's if I can go over here and I can get more money, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
it's the same thing in college sports. It's in basketball. It's trickled down to that. It's like a transfer portal in college.
So you think
I ain't happy here? Yo, give me I'm ready to get out. So
you think this was a chess move from the? I mean,
people don't want to hear this.
But no, I think inside, I think they just want swap players. But do you think like organizations in the NBA in general, outside of players, are using this as an example for the rest of the league and how we're gonna go forward? Because like you said, it's been a very player empowerment, and we've seen players take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So you think that's their chess move?
I think. Yes, I don't think that's a chess move. I just think that's the way that they look at it, that they view the shit. I think in this situation, like we acting like AD ain't AD. Let's get that clear.
Course,
like people acting like it's AD.
Talk to him like he's Bo Outlaw or something.
like come on, this is a
legit.
It's more of an even trade than what people acting
it's
like.
Actually it's a really, really good trade.
It's a really good trade.
Right? I think some time go by, like, and see how this all plays out. I think
you don't want to make
Nico would be looked at like
you don't want to make no.
No, I'm saying Nico's
just say you think Dallas would be better.
No, I ain't get to the Lakers yet.
I'm talking about Dallas.
Do I think they're gonna be better?
Yeah.
Than what?
Than they were before.
I wouldn't say they're gonna be better differently than they were before.
Right.
Because now what AD been complaining about.
Right.
I want to play the 4. I need a 5 over here with me. He got that. Lively, Gaffney, like he got 2 athletic 5s that's down there. So you ain't got to worry about doing all of that. You got Clay over there, right? People forget about Clay.
Right.
You still got Kyrie now. Now Kyrie
Ball
is
back in his hands.
Now Kyrie is the lead guard in a situation that we have an opportunity to go out there and win. We had an opportunity with Luka to go out there and win.
For sure.
But something was going to have to happen.
I think this is a chance. Like, we got to, I think people forgot how special Kyrie is, right?
Yeah, it's yeah.
He's a special player,
Of course.
He took the back seat to Luka, which, this is his team, but, he has a lot to give. Like, Kyrie is nice.
He's arguably having one of his best seasons right now.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
So, this is a chance for him to really show. He has, a big to run with him. He has a shooter to run with him, and a lot of really good players around him. I think he has to, even with the snub this year, with the All-Star, people forget, and he's been overshadowed by Luka because Luka Magic and all that stuff and things he's done in Dallas, but he can go.
I think people forget, but players don't. I feel like you poll every player, every NBA player, they're like, Kyrie is like most NBA players' favorite NBA player. They'll watch just the style of play, like skill-wise. They'll always say he's the most skilled guard we've ever seen, stuff like the type of compliments that he get, it doesn't necessarily match up with the perception that he probably gets from the public, but NBA players know. That's the power of the
That's the power of media, though. They made you forget that Anthony Davis is a all NBA basketball player.
One on every level, college, Olympics, NBA, everything.
We've been saying AD was the best player in the league for a long time.
Yes.
Like overall, we've been saying like the AD has the opportunity to be the best player in the league.
He does.
On both sides of the basketball. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, we can't forget that aspect of it either. Like, I think it's going to turn out to be a really, really good trade for both sides, right? Luka is a superstar. Not to say the AD not. Luka is a superstar. Luka need to be in L.A. Let him go to L.A. Let him get around Bron at the end of Bron's career, where Bron can actually, hopefully, can get to Luka and show him the work ethic, show him how to get to this, show him how to get in shape, like really help him out from that aspect of it. Basketball aspect, that shit'll take care of itself. But somebody who put the work in over there.
Right.
Is on the regimen. You seeing this every single day. So now it's gonna be up to you to match that energy as a competitor. Right?
I gotta ask you something.
25 years old though, Luka.
Yeah.
He's 25 years old. So it's going to come down to a point if he really want to commit to that. But people forget that, we were talking about this offline, that Luka been playing pro basketball since he was 16 years old.
He's 25 years old in the league. Isn't the same
like
25 years old?
Like,
yeah.
His 25 years like dog years. You know what I mean? From 16 to where he at right now. That's a long time.
I can only imagine some of the vets he had over there.
Nigga had some bonus pops.
They smoking cigarettes at halftime.
Like body as a vet. Like
he's probably drinking beer in the locker room. Like, oh, what's wrong?
But also, it's culturally, that's culture over there. That's what they do.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
For sure.
Over here is cool with that. It's cool until it's not cool.
Right.
You know, we see it. We laugh at the joke about, yo, you see what the locker room doing this. We thinking it's cool. Everybody thinking it's cool. The people in there ain't thinking it's cool.
Yeah.
That's why you see those videos, take the shit out of his hand, boom, laugh. He looking like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, all of these things starts to accumulate. And when you really look at we have an opportunity to win now. That's the real move on this. And because they have close relationships, made this all seamless.
Yeah.
Right? Because Nico and Rob and like everybody has these relationships, like really close relationships. It made it go so seamless.
I don't want to play amateur therapist or amateur psychoanalyst or whatever with Luka, but he's a first-team All-NBA player. He's the franchise in Dallas. He's probably hearing for a while, I mean, according to reports talking about Power Media, about the habits, the drinking, the, getting in better shape, defense, all that type of stuff.
I don't think it's drinking. I think it's just a
perception.
I think it's just a perception.
The perception.
Just say work ethic.
The perception of his work ethic.
His body. That's his body.
This is what he looked like. You know what I mean?
Just his body. That's all.
If he was cut up, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Nobody would say nothing.
I mean?
But I just want to say, just to get in his head a little bit, pause, there had to be a train of thinking for Luka where he didn't think this would happen. He's like, what are they going to do? Like, not pay me the $345 million?
You untouchable when you in those positions.
Yeah.
You feel like you untouchable. You feel like, if anything, you at ease because you feel like, even though I don't have to know everything, if it's something that's about to go down, I'm going to get a heads up.
Right.
I'm just, that's how it happens.
Right.
In this case, there's no heads up. It's, we got to do this right now. In this minute, we got to agree to this now.
And I've at a very, very much smaller scale.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing happened to me, like not knowing and getting traded.
Yeah.
And he gonna have some resentment. I don't know what that's gonna do for him. I don't know what that's gonna make him wanna, just him being in LA is gonna make him probably pick up his, whatever whatever it is. But he's gonna have some resentment. So you will see where he goes from here. Whether it's going to be a lot of pressure being in LA too.
Yeah.
Look, they got him with a plan, obviously. We could talk about it. There's a plan involved. It ain't this year, it ain't next year.
Yeah.
They got Luka with...
He's the next face.
He's the next face. LeBron is 40 years old. As much as we love him, I don't see that
contingency plan.
They need a star.
Yeah.
They need a superstar.
And they always get the damn star with the Lakers, yo.
It's a lot.
Shaq, Kobe.
It's a lot that goes with it.
Always, yeah.
But in this case, you got to give up a star to get a star. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was, again, a lot of people won't say this is an even trade. But for what Dallas need and what Lakers need, and what Lakers needs are bigger than right now.
Right.
They needs are, hey, we about to put this organization. He's our next face of the organization
because they've been through
the Lakers
with Cole.
Absolutely, he's the next phase of that, which is why LeBron and you know what I mean. Like you get those superstars.
All right, let me ask you this: besides being the next face of the Lakers, you still got to worry about right now. Still got to, on the basketball sense, play with a guy who is the current face of the Lakers and plays sort of similar to you as far as like.
Luka ain't getting on the court right now.
When he does.
I just said, this year might be a wash.
When he does.
It's February.
Right.
All-Star break is coming. But
they still in the mix in the Western Conference. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're 4th or 5th in the West.
Luka's going to come off the bench.
What we're going to see is...
not coming off no bench.
What we're going to see is what we see now from the Lakers.
Okay.
Like, this is the team. This is the energy right now. Like Luka, it's gonna take a lot for Luka to get back. Like that's not no easy injury. You know what I mean? He was already battling back injury. He was battling hip. He was battling calf. He was like it's so many injuries.
Right.
I think he needs like.
So
Mel
am I
said.
gonna pay you the Supermax if I'm seeing you every day around the building in practice? Like I see shit that nobody else see, that the rest of the world don't see.
That's the elephant in the room too.
So if I want to pay you, am I gonna pay you that Supermax? How can I be intentional about paying you the Supermax if you're not intentional on doing what you got to do?
I think if I'm Luka,
I'm pissed.
Yeah, I'm pissed. But you know, I'm taking this time. Obviously, you can't just not play this year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think he gotta wear the Lakers jersey this year. He has to. But more than anything, I think it's time he to take this time to really work on everything. Whatever's hurting him. Whatever it needs. I know because there's a lot of pressure being a star in LA. So he going to
Luka don't care. I don't care. Luka don't give a fuck about that shit.
It's pressure though.
It is, but Luka don't see.
We can say that until you get there. Though.
He don't care though. Like that's the whole thing, right? Like he like Joker. Like them niggas don't give a fuck.
It's easy not to care in Dallas.
Nah, he don't.
It's easy not to care in Denver.
I get that, but this is just
you not care in New York.
We different personalities. You're a different personality than Luka. Luka is coming from he don't give a fuck about a lot of that.
We'll
shit.
see though.
But go ahead and finish your point.
No, we'll see. You're right, but we'll see. It's easy to be like, yo, whatever, but there's way more eyes in LA than it is in Dallas. Way more eyes in New York.
Them shadows is long in LA, man.
But it's still, you talk about the individual. Individual don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Right now, and that's why he in LA right now.
As I said, like we saw what him not giving a fuck has gotten him. He's already lost on last night at least 110 M's.
Right.
You paying California taxes now instead of Dallas taxes. Like you lost. Like you've seen what not giving a fuck has gotten you.
Right.
And now you're going to a place that isn't just expected you to be great, but you're supposed to take on the mantle of the next Laker.
Listen, you
legend.
could get Luka. Here's the two options. You could get Luka where he's at right now. For the rest of his, however long he gonna be in LA. Are you content with that? You'll be happy with that. To see Luka where he's at right now, what he's did in Dallas to bring that to LA, would you be content with that?
I would be content up until the playoffs because of what I saw from Boston, how they picked on him defensively.
Okay.
I'll be content.
Or would you want to see Luka take this moment and really lock the fuck in and like see him on a whole nother level. Like we're already putting him here.
Yeah.
So let's see him lock in and see where he's at.
I feel like Joker was in that same spot several years ago. They thought he was a little out of shape. You know what I mean? He was still really good, you know, but then he locked in, he lost a ton of weight and he became a perennial MVP every damn year. He's in the mix for MVP.
And bro, he's probably the same weight right now as he was when people were telling me he needed
but he looked good.
So and he gained it right back. If Luka would have won a championship, we would not be talking about
That's
this.
a fact.
But if you know what I mean, ifs, a big reason why they did it
was contract year. That's why he lost all that weight.
I think we're gonna see Luka like
right now, yeah. That's why I say he's gonna lock in the pins.
I think we're gonna see a different Luka.
I would hope so.
Because you know what it's like. Luka understands the assignment. He understands the bright lights. He understands like what it means in NBA culture, what it means to play in New York, what it means to play in LA, he understands all of that. So him going to LA, putting that Laker jersey on, can like ignite a whole different fuse that people haven't even seen yet. And again, he's 25 years old. He's 45 because he's been playing from 16 to, you know what I mean? Professionally for 16, high level at 16. Dog years, he 45.
With that being said, you said like he don't care. And just to clarify that, it's because, they're not from here. Like we grew up watching
coaching. I'm saying coaching.
And they did to an extent.
Yeah. Right.
But to be over there, I remember Jokic said, I played in Croatia, brother. He said, I'm not worried about this. It's a different it's different over there, you know. And you played overseas, seen when people play for their country. It's different than playing over there. So
man.
by not caring, they care about basketball. They want to win. But as far as the other shit around, is what Melo's talking about. No, he don't give a fuck. But he gonna have to.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna look bad out in these streets if you don't.
let me ask a difficult question.
But people don't also take into consideration like the amount of basketball that Luka plays.
Yeah.
Like, and one of my best friends, like we was talking about this we were talking about this over the weekend, and he gave me a perspective. He's like, yo, like people fail to realize how much basketball Luka plays, right? It's not like Joker going back to his country and playing for his country because he got other guys on his team that can help him win gold medals and win championships, right? Mm. You go back to Luka country, it's just Luka.
Yeah.
Like he is wearing that bird and he's the white hat in his country.
Right.
So he's playing in every single international competition and coming back playing in the NBA.
Draper was his teammate too.
Draper was his teammate, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So it was like, I'm like, damn, I mean, even me, knowing that but not knowing that, I had to put that in perspective. So I laugh and joke about him being 45 in dog years, but when you playing at 16 professionally, you 25 now, for the past 5 years, 6 years, you probably been playing all year round. Like that's a lot on your body. Yeah. Especially a body like his. You get what I'm saying? A body type like his. Like.
Let me ask you a difficult question. Not a difficult question, but the question I think we all need to answer to. What's the most challenging part about playing with LeBron James?
You like the trade, nigga. That's
I love the trade. I love the trade. Yeah. But I mean, we've seen LeBron is probably one of the great, not even probably, definitely one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But it's obvious that like there's a style of play that comes with him, especially, I don't think the expectations dwindle just because they made a midseason trade. Like they still want to go and finish as far as they could in the playoffs, possibly contend for a championship. But there's definitely a learning curve that comes with playing with LeBron. And now you got Luka, who also probably needs the ball just as much as LeBron does. And we've seen LeBron play off ball probably more than Luka has. Just in your opinion, as someone who's played with him, known him for a long time, and just knows ball, what do you think is going to be the biggest adjustment for Luka when it comes to playing with a guy like LeBron?
Nothing. LeBron is here, motherfucker. Like here, Luka.
Please take this rock. Yeah.
Take this 40-year-old Bron.
Take the rock.
We're not talking 26, 27.
Bron is very adaptable, like to whatever situation he's in. So with Luka, you're gonna see Bron in pick and rolls with Luka, rolling to the basket. You know what I mean? With shooters out alongside the three. Where Bron now becomes the quarterback in the pick and roll.
Right.
You gonna switch? What you gonna do? Because Luka is Luka. You get what I'm saying?
You think Bron falls more back into like a traditional power forward role? Like,
man, Bron is gonna just do what he continues to do. Fuck you, I'm trying to see.
I'm trying to see because it's like. Bro, you look at their numbers, you look at
it to Dell Davis. Dell Davis is nice though. McDice.
Playing Anthony Mason ball, just point forward.
Nah, but bro, he's adaptable. So he's gonna play in that pick and roll with Luka. He already probably by this point already been thinking about situations. Like that's what type of anal ass nigga he is. Like
right.
He's figuring it all out. And what's happening. Even though the trade went through, he probably was fucked up about the trade. He didn't know. Now he's like, I still gotta do this over here.
Yeah,
right? I think it's gonna be a lot easier than what people think because Luka brings a totally different dynamic to that team. Now, what the other guys do, those roles are different. Yeah. Now you standing a little bit more. Now you in corners. Now you only getting certain shots. Like
Bron go out, y'all move the ball around more. Now you got Luka, so you just kind of trying to figure that out. So it's like, Bron's gonna be Bron, Luka's gonna be Luka. We're gonna see if it worked, but at the end of the day, like this is a future plan. Anyway, you know what I'm saying?
As far as those role players, is that like an enjoyable style of play though? When you got two guys that are that ball dominant, and Luka's as ball dominant as he is, like. We've seen him with a bunch of teammates over the years, Brunsons, Porzingis, Kyrie's, that have all sort of taken a back seat to him. And then when they've left or when they've played in different situations, is a little bit more free. Is that, how do you, as those role players, the Austin Reeves and all those guys, how do you think they'll adjust to playing with somebody like that?
They already are. It's no difference. Like, you know when you got your guy. You know what I'm saying? That's our guy. Those are our guys. I got to figure it out. More than anything, they got to figure it out. Bron and immediately, Luka got to figure it out. But
right.
Everybody else they really have to figure out how to get their games off with those two guys be on there and doing whatever the team needs. Like, it is what it is. Either you produce or you don't play. Mm-hmm. Those two guys are going to play. Mm-hmm. So figure it out, or they're gonna find somebody.
It's gonna work.
Yeah.
It's fucking everybody up though. Like just the whole concept. Like, but we can't get over the fact that they traded Luka, right? You can't get over. People ain't saying they traded AD. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's not get that misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? What Dallas is getting back for Luka, it's actually a really, really good piece. It's a very pivotal piece to them trying to win now. Understanding that Luka is going to take some time to try to come back. He got to come back. He got to get healthy. That might take him through the end of the season, through the summer. Who knows, right? Mm-hmm. Come back next season. Who really truly knows? Right. So the Lakers gonna keep moving the way that they gonna move.
Gotcha.
In the meantime, Bron gonna still continue to. He got to lead. He got to try to figure it out over there. And in Dallas, they pick up right where they left off at.
Yeah.
Luka wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And they still top 4, top 5 in the West or something like that. If I'm not wrong. Not wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
But like, AD is plug and play.
Yeah.
Like we are top 4. We trying to get up to 1, up to 3, we trying to move up the ladder. And we trying to win now. And this gives us the opportunity to win now. And Nico know that.
Yeah.
He know his window is short. I don't give a fuck how much success you have.
He said it. He was like, yo, I might be 5 by the time it's done anyway. Like,
if it don't work, you fired.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, what we're not talking about is, like, we talking about how Bron and Luka going to play together.
Yeah.
But AD the type player that you can play anyway.
Yeah, he adapts. Sure. AD adapts.
There's not one team that I can put AD on and say, oh, it ain't going to work out for him.
Yeah.
He's just that kind of player. So I'm not saying who won the trade or whatever, but immediately, I think Dallas is a better team.
In the immediate future, the Dallas Mavericks seem to have a higher ceiling right now than the Lakers do before the trade. It feels like, there's a team that did go to the conference finals. They still got a great guard in Kyrie Irving. And,
you got Clay.
And you got Clay.
You got pieces over. You got them young pieces over there, right? Who defend, who can shoot. You got PJ Washington, who's a major piece too.
Right.
To that Dallas roster.
They still got Gafford, right?
Gafford,
Lively,
and
they got Davis. Those are 3 big bodies.
They got
they all great shot blockers. They all control the paint. Like they all can switch off and defend.
Bush played for Brooklyn and
Dinwiddie.
Yeah,
they got Dinwiddie, Quentin Grimes.
So you got role players. You got guys who could come off the bench and really continue the the progress of what you're doing on the court. I like that team.
I do too. And it's kind of like they already, it feels like anyway, everybody in the West is sort of gunning for the Thunder. And the Mavericks feel like they've already got their number. They knocked them out the playoffs last year. They beat them like 3 times already this year. They don't have Holmgren. They don't have Hartenstein. And now they just added Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. Like,
Dallas is back in the fold as far as conversation.
It wouldn't shock me if Dallas was a team we're talking about at the end of the year in the conference finals or in the NBA finals. Okay, so the elephant in the room that I think was the big crux of why this trade even happens is that Supermax contract, right? Like, Luka was due to make $345 million from the Dallas Mavericks if he signed that deal. And it feels like we're probably going to start seeing some teams, because of the apron and the CBA and all that type of stuff, really start to have a come to Jesus moment with themselves. Like, yo, do we want to really invest $70 million, $80 million a year into these players?
No.
And we've seen it work in some hands. We've seen it not work in other hands. As far as the Supermax is concerned, do you think teams are going to be a little bit more cautious about giving those contracts away? Would they rather just trade them than sign them?
You had to sign somebody to Supermax. Like, so it's nothing they can do. It's from the beginning, they didn't want to pay players 50, 60, 70. They didn't want to pay players $20 million.
It's y'all fault. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all did this shit.
They want to pay you 15, man. They don't want to pay you mid-level. Like, they don't want to pay you. They negotiating, right? So, you know how it looks to write a $50 million check? Like, yo, damn, a year to one person?
Right.
Yeah. Like, they looking at this like, now we got to write 60 and 70. Oh,
Cash, too.
This guy can make 80. Nah, we got to try to put a cap on this shit right here. Right. But it's too far gone right now as far as trying to cap it. So now it comes down to these Supermax contracts where the owners is going to start saying they're going to start depicting everything about you. Now they really going to negotiate you on the spot every single day.
Yeah.
How you walk and how you talk and how you coming to work, how you come to practice, how you on the bus, what's your averages in this category, what's your average? Like they really going to be scrutinizing.
Yeah, we already seen this stuff. What we talked about before with in Minnesota. You know what they're doing with the young fella. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and you can already see it. Like this.
Talk about Ant Edwards.
Yeah, talk about Ant. Like we're going to see like, and I mean, right as a business and owning a business, that's rightfully so. Like you want the quality of your business to go up when you give somebody that much money. So I mean, I see both sides. People got to be themselves, but yo, if they're gonna commit that much to you, I mean,
you got to switch something up.
So in Luka's situation, they looking like, the question was, I don't know if this is a question, but it's hypothetically saying,
right?
Do we want to invest $350-something million, even though he deserves it?
Right.
Do we want to invest that into him?
In Dallas, he deserves it.
In Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing these things about him, right? So now they have leverage,
right,
to negotiate and make moves and do what the fuck they want to do, right? On the flip side, I do think there should be no trade clause. Like, I think there should be no trade clause because
AD had one, right?
Yeah,
AD waived his. Yeah, he waived his trade kicker.
But that part of it is fucked up that you could trade me without telling me.
Yeah,
like that's goes back to some real deeper level type of shit, right? So that's the fucked up part about it. Like, at least have the decency to communicate with me, as even if you know I'm gonna be mad, like communicate that with me.
Right.
Like you leaving, I gotta leave my family. Rudy said he was building a $15 million crib out there in Dallas.
Chandler Parsons said Luka had just bought a $15 million crib. That's
what I'm trying to say. So family, you got to think internationally. You know what I mean? Got a lot of people to move around.
Got kids in school probably.
And they're smack of the middle of the season like that.
15 M's in Dallas.
Like,
that's
like a small amusement park.
So that's the fucked up part I don't like about the shit. I don't like the part that you can get traded without nobody telling you.
And on top of that, you talk about, the nasty work that these organizations do. Before this week, you would have convinced me Luka was a model citizen. Didn't hear a single bad word about him. Now, as these stories start rolling out, now you start hearing about his work ethic. You start hearing about his habits. You start hearing about, we didn't like that he complained to the refs too much.
No, they just did a great job of keeping it in-house.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the issues was always there.
But shouldn't it always just stay in-house though?
Yeah, but now
why would you want to trade, why would you want to diminish your asset that you just gave away? Don't you want to make it seem like, hey, you're getting this great asset that I'm giving you? Why would I want to tell the world like, on top of that, this is what you're getting?
The deal is done.
The deal is done. I have to move forward. I don't have to shoot shots at you, but I got to move forward. But prior to that, it should have been conversations. That's too big of a deal not to have those type of conversations on one hand. On the other hand, it's too big of a deal to have conversations.
Right.
Right. So it's
it's hard. It's hard to.
You can't tell nobody that level. You can't. That's like some billion, some Succession type shit. Like billions. Like
it's like what do we have to compare it to though? Like we've never, not me. I've never seen a trade this big get done this quietly. You know what I mean?
No, we see it every day. We see it in politics. We see it in the world. Yeah. These deals just are being done quietly, and then all of a sudden it's a news clip, it's a drop, it's an article.
Company got bought out. Like, no, that shit just don't happen. Like, these conversations is being had with only a couple people. Like, head honcho got to meet head honcho, and we got to meet at the top of the building in the helicopter pad. These are them type of conversations we talking about. Yo, you said something along the lines of why you didn't like that certain people get traded in the middle of the season, and it's a deeper sort of conversation. I ain't gonna get that deep, but I will say this: you are part of the class of NBA players that made your players' union and your contracts the envy of all sports leagues. Like, you look at the NFL, and it's like, yeah, we'll sign you to $100 million contract or whatever, but if we don't feel like you cutting the snuff, like, snip, snip, crazy. Yeah. CBA, collective bargaining, is coming up real soon. New cable deals and TV deals is coming up soon. Do you both envision a world where NBA owners start moving a little bit more like NFL owners and try and take back a little bit more of that power?
I mean, they've been trying to.
Yeah.
Like, every owner's dream would be the NFL.
Yeah.
That'd be the dream.
It's different cultures in the NFL.
Yeah.
When it comes to owners, I mean, you go ahead.
No, it's the next man up in the NFL. Like, they feel like that they can do the same thing. They can do the same thing with a different player.
Yeah.
Like, they feel like they, their strategy in this. It's always the next man up in the NFL. But, NBA, it's more than just the athlete, You selling jerseys, like, you can see our faces, you know what I'm saying? People know Luka when they walk down the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
In the NFL, no one's bigger than the Shield. No one's bigger than
the Shield, and it's top down.
Yeah.
It's you got commissioner who is works the business the way that he runs the business, right? Then you have the owners who are very old school, traditional, who've been in the leagues forever.
Yeah.
Like, they've been owners forever.
They ain't letting go.
They ain't trying to, these things.
Even the word owner makes my skin crawl.
Which is why they didn't allow private equity money to come into NFL. Right? Like, they want to keep, like, this is our shit.
Yeah.
Now you see it starting to open up. NFL is opening it up to private equity. Now you starting to see all NFL get uplifted even more.
Yeah.
Because of that. Whereas basketball had a whole different approach to that.
Yeah.
It's a totally different approach. We can't, the owners in the NBA are younger. They young. You know what I mean? They new owners. They are
NFL's old money.
Yeah, that's old. That's old money. Like, these NBA owners are young. They thinking differently. They have new ideas.
Yeah.
They creative, in certain situations. They collaborative, like, and they just happen to be owners.
Yeah.
Bro, it's still a lot to process.
Can we change that term? Can we start that on 7 p.m.?
I mean, I forgot.
Ownership.
Woody Johnson said he wants to be called an ambassador or something like that. Like,
I know why.
The word owner just
that's crazy to me.
It's weird. But
we hold on, before we go though.
Yeah.
You call your owner?
Who my owner? Who my owner, man?
Oh, my owner calling me, man.
I got partners.
There you go, partners.
I don't have no fucking owner, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like the term neither.
It just feels weird when I hear
we can't use that term. But listen, we talk about AD and Luka. Darren Fox trade to San Antonio is going to get overshadowed.
Yeah.
That was another sick trade. Like, the way that happened, like,
it don't immediately impact the team like the other one did.
Absolutely. You say you don't?
It don't.
Oh, I don't know, man.
What?
I don't
Fox
think
and
so.
Wemby together?
I honestly don't think so.
Fox and Wemby together gonna be a problem.
I'm not putting them in that category. I'm just saying that trade is a major trade.
It's a major trade, but I mean,
you don't put
no, the other trade impacted the league, bro.
Other trade impacted the world.
You know what it is? Know what it was? We knew it was going to happen.
Right.
The Fox trade. We didn't know where. It's kind of like the Jimmy thing. If Jimmy's trade came up, like, oh, okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the Luka trade was, AD, like, he won a championship with that team. It was
Though, when you could steal headlines during Super Bowl week.
Yeah, I'm not comparing, but like.
When you could be the A block during Super Bowl week, it is bigger than the league. It is bigger than two teams. It is, No,
this shit of the world, man. They sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All Dallas jerseys and shit. Luka,
They're having funerals outside the arena and shit.
For his business, you talking about what's the money he say he gonna lose?
About $110 million.
He gonna make that back.
Yeah, of course, he's in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he gonna make that back off of his business.
Yeah, they say he's gonna be in the next Mission Impossible.
Yeah, he gonna make that back.
Oh, word?
I don't know. I'm gonna do that. But something like that gonna happen.
Wait, what?
He gonna make that back.
They gonna put Luka in Space Jam 3.
Yeah, he
make
gonna
it work.
Back not.
Nah, fellas, I'm glad we can get this together and talk about this. This is the trade that shook up all of sports. Definitely shook up the entire NBA. To our 7 p.m. fans, thanks as always for rocking with us. But don't worry, the brand new full episode is dropping this Thursday. Subscribe to our YouTube podcast channels. Like, rate, and review. Myself, Rudy, and Mello. Catch y'all next time, people. Peace out.
Peace.